And an off-duty soldier in Ngcobo in the Eastern Cape has been postponed to the 27th of July. They appeared briefly in the Engcobo Magistrates Court in the Eastern Cape. They were arrested following an armed robbery at the Ngcobo police station in February this year. The state says that its investigation is complete and a decision must now be made by the Deputy Public Prosecutor.
A packed courtroom. Religious leaders, Ngcobo 7 Angels Ministries congregants, and the public. The youngest brother of the church leaders say this is a fulfillment of a prophecy.
My
father preached about this. He said people will be against us and people will hate us. When this happened, we knew it was a prophecy being fulfilled.
The Council of Churches is concerned the incident has tarnished Christianity.
It has dented the image of the church because now if you're going out of Ngcobo or other in the neighboring local municipalities or in around Eastern Cape, if you say you're coming from Ngcobo, people, they've got this perception that since there was this incident of the Angels Ministries, so they associate us with the angels.
The state says their investigations on the matter are complete. 3 of these suspects are expected to appear before the Engcobo Magistrates Court on the 20th of this month for the murder of the Jali couple. Meanwhile, Banele Ngcobo is expected to be back here on the 25th of this month. SABC News, Engcobo Magistrates Court.
Well, let's cross now live to our reporter, Zimkita Manginana, to give us a little bit more on this story. Zimkita, thanks very much for joining us. So it was quite a day in court today. Many interested parties and church members supporting, it looks like, these accused.
It was a brief appearance in court today, Peter, but what was more significant today is that the state says they are complete with their investigations into the matter since February when the incident took place. It's been postponed because the state wanted more time to continue with their investigation, and now it has been postponed. When it comes back to court later this month, the state is expected to give us a date where and when trial will resume. It is during the period of trial where we'll be able to hear the reasons why the members of this church allegedly attacked the police station and why they allegedly killed, because 3 of them are facing a charge of murder for the killing of the Jali couple who are co-founders of this church when it started in Ngcobo. So some of those questions, some of those unanswered questions will be answered when the trial is being heard, because some people are saying that because one of the rules of this church was that if you are working, you must resign and hand over all your pensions to the church. Now they are saying that maybe the leaders of the church had run dry of the money, so they were allegedly attacking the police station to get some firearms to continue with their spate of crimes in the area, because we know that some members of the church are also facing a charge of attempted robbery, a robbery which took place in November, a few months before the attack of the police station. And what we also know, Peter, is that when the Jali couple was attacked in Ngcobo, an undisclosed amount of money was taken before they were killed and before the suspects fled the scene. And a month later, it was the attack on the police station. But all those questions will be answered when the matter will be heard before the courts here in the Eastern Cape. And what I can also mention, Peter, is that all these 6 suspects that appeared in court today did not want bail. They abandoned bail, and 5 of them said they would not like to be represented by a lawyer. Only 1 of them said they would like to have a legal representative, and some of them said they would plead guilty to the charges that they are facing.
Remind us a little bit more about the background of this church and where these 6 people fit into the story.
This is a church, Peter, that started in the early 1980s in Ngcobo in KwaZulu-Natal by the late leader, Utata Ngcobo. When he practiced the church in Ngcobo, one of the main rules of the church was that young children should not go to school. But the community of Ngcobo was not happy with that statement that was continuously being preached among congregants. Therefore, they were chased away from that area, and they moved into another town, another small town here in the former Transkei, where they were also chased away. And then they moved to Ngcobo, where they operated until the SABC exposed the practices of the church, and which one of them was children not going to school and people who are working resigning and handing over all their pensions. Now, Peter, along the lines of these allegations of people who were made to give all their pensions to the church, there was this attack, and 7 suspects who were going to be arrested, and some of them are the leaders of the church, were gunned down during a gun battle between police and suspects on the night where these other 6 suspects were arrested. And amongst the people that are arrested are the members, senior leaders of this church, because as you note, the name of this church is 7 Angels Ministries, and those people who call them the so-called angels are the sons of the late founder of this church.
Quite strangely, in the report that you filed earlier, there was one church member who talked about the fulfillment of a prophecy. Help us understand what the thinking is behind that.
Benjamin Ngcobo is the youngest of the 7 sons who were left at the helm of this church by the late Siphiwo Ngcobo. They have been saying to us time and again that they are communicating with their late father through the Holy Spirit, and they are saying that some of the things that are happening now, like the police attack incident, like the fact that some of his 3 brothers were gunned down by police and some of the other 3 brothers are arrested, is a fulfillment of a prophecy. But now, Peter, when we are speaking to the Council of Churches, they are saying that they do understand that there are leaders of churches who can prophesy. However, what confuses them is that amongst some of the things which they are saying have been prophecies that were preached by his father while he was still alive, are things that are against the law. Now, that is the taboo issue here when it comes to the Ngcobo 7 Angels Ministries, because they are saying that even the attack at the police station is not something that surprises them. It's something that they knew was going to happen. But Peter, if you zoom into the court proceedings, those people that are arrested saying that they will plead guilty to these charges that they are facing, and also saying that they do not want bail and want to conduct their own defense, is a clear indication that they really believe whatever that happened on that day is a fulfillment of that prophecy.
All right, Ngcobo, we'll leave it there for now, but certainly this is a story that I think is probably going to open up all kinds of beliefs and thoughts as the prosecutors try and unearth the motivations and actually why these police officers were killed and one off-duty cop was killed in the Eastern Cape.